We will now explain the entire picture that I have to paint because I took initiation first and second from him. I killed myself on the street. As a few of us, as a handful, most have committed suicide, funnily enough. And I just seem to be the only one in Australia who's witnessed, who's still standing. Everyone else has got a position here, and so they're terrified. So I'll start with Kalasambara in New Zealand. That I asked him about the car crash that he and his wife was in, where his wife got killed. And he and the taxi driver were perfectly okay, and Tamal had his head chopped off. And so we have to trace it all back to the fact that Bhavananda was a Freemason before he joined, well, he never joined the temple. He was enlisted by the Freemasons to infiltrate through Tamal. But he was in Hollywood making films, rubbish homosexual films, Chelsea Girls, and just disgusting films. But anyway, really, boy films. But really, that's where he was rubbing shoulders with these crooked people who we're hearing about. And, no doubt he's into the adrenochrome because Andy Warhol had a blood disease. And he needed adrenochrome. So the fact that, Bhavananda admits in videos that he actually never was a devotee. He never really was interested in Krishna consciousness. And just like the Howard, he loved the way Prabhupada dressed, and he wanted to do the curtains, and, he just complete idiot, but somehow he became the world guru. It's the most disgusting, filthy thing, and I really have to talk about it. I'm sorry. Because I suffered on the street for years in a wig, selling candles for him. Really, for about 20 years, I was traumatized. I was on the farm. I was a Kolo Pujari for Radha Gopinath's Prabhupada's deities, and suddenly Bhavananda threw Jayadharma out in the street, and he set up headquarters in King's Cross, which is the Pufta area of Sydney. And we never knew why. We had this dingy flat, and we just had to collect money every day. And I ran into him once he was coming back from a gay bar in his crimson cloak. It was shortly after he was guru. And smoking a cigarette outside the temple. I was on my way to Mangalati with my beads, and and he's coming back from a gay bar at 4 a.m, and he sort of, I think it sort of jolted him to go back to Mayapur and sort of get a bit of a profile going, which he has. But the thing is, so he's just done this 50-year anniversary celebration in Sydney to make himself look innocent. It's the same as what he's doing with the TAVP and everything. But so the secret is that he was a Freemason. That's why he appears with his blue and white shirt with a photo of ballots on my group page. And it's clear as a Freemason. The Freemasons wanted the TAVP to keep presenting the globe earth, which was his first thing that he made sure that it wasn't going to be a flat earth presentation. He had a globe out in the front, and then he's got black pyramids there and in Vrindavan, which is the Freemason symbol. So if you understand that he was a Freemason and he was enlisted to kill Prabhupada initially from the first day, take over the movement, take over them as a criminal, to take over the movement, because I always, he's appearing in why why it's startling is because in Australia he was the guru, he was the world leader. To you in the rest of the world, he was New York president. So he was always pushing for it, and he was the Chicago mansion man. And he was always, getting the lead, which is the opposite to devotees. We're taught the exact opposite. So it's very easy for him to push his way in the group of devotees. It's the easiest thing, not being a devotee himself. And so that's the secret of this whole mishmash, and that's the proof that and so the second proof is that Bhishma, Prabhupada's sister, was with Prabhupada, and she said, he's been poisoned, and that's the most direct proof that we can get. So he's in Sydney at the moment, and it's I've tried countless lawyers and police and everything. I've really tried my best, and I'm just in the forest. I've been treated brutally by devotees. Even a guy I invited here dragged me in the forest to die, took my house, car, everything, and I have no communication at all. But Krishna is giving me this service, and no one else is able to do it. Why? I don't know. There's a fog. I don't know. Look, I'm taking Ramayan every day. I told him Krishna took his heart out. I collected for Ramai on the bus for years and years with these cloth prints. Ramai is a criminal. So the whole, Ramai is a devotee in some sense. You cannot not be really. I don't know. So maybe they're just looking for a lifestyle, which Ramai certainly achieved for himself by sending us all out in the PK. He never went out once, and they're all living nicely, So Gopinath just died as a result of their banning, and that he was a true devotee. Everyone knows that, and everyone can go. I've got hundreds of people who know Gopinath, know his qualities, and he died as a result of all this. And I was his closest friend at the end. I was living with him when he was banished next door. I went and I took that punishment as well on myself. And left just before he died, because I knew he was going to die. The way his mentality, this is what they did to him. This is what it does to you as a devotee. If your God brothers do this to you, it's the most heartbreaking thing that's happened to me. And so I can experience, I know with the feeling. And that's why I'm, having to speak now. It's a lot like what happened to Salochana, very much. Because Gopinath knew, he had clear vision. He was Dutch like me. And he was a Nastika brahmachari. He never fell down. He never once never missed his rounds, ever. Or Mangalati, impeccable. And they're all terrified of him for that reason. So you should know that's the reason why they had him killed. Ajita had him banned, and he just died of heartbreak. No other reason. So that's the proof. That's what's happened in Australia. Why is everyone just going, well, Ajita's got the catering trucks and the restaurants, and he's the chairman of the board here, and he's also the national secretary, and he's just running this hoo-ha show of fame and food. He's just bought $1 million restaurant kitchen on Govardhan. He's taken over Govardhan. He got into Govardhan because Titaraj was caught with porn on his computer. Titaraj was a wreck, just German wreck. He was a mechanic on the bus, and I hated him. Really, he was disgusting. He became Brisbane Temple president, and then he was caught with porn on his phone, so Vegeta just snapped it all up. He was already making the catering trucks in Britain. He's never done the pig. It's always been selfish. What can I get out of this? How can I get money for myself? It's the way that's the way he's never done devotional anya bilasita sunyam jnana kama jnanavidam anukulina krishna selanam bhakti uchate. It means we did it for 30 years. I collected all day, $500 minimum, and you hand it all over at the end of the night. In the wig with heavy candle boxes, and my bones are already broken. I was suffering like anything carrying that, and to have to humiliate yourself and pretend you're not a devotee in a wig and lie, and the candles are poisonous, and to actually have to deceive people every day that you're not a devotee, you're not representing Krishna, that was the hardest thing for me. To lie, and they think it's fun, and that was, and it went on for years and years. So I think that's why Krishna is giving me, like, I've got the hitting arrow here. I've got the killing stroke. I promise you, because I've looked at this in isolation in the forest for over 12 years about Bhavananda's poisoning. No one's even game to question it. There's been books written debunking, and I've taken everyone, I've taken Mayaswara on. No one has, and I've just been asked to do this video tonight, and I hope I can get it onto YouTube, because otherwise I can't get it onto Facebook as it is. So if this gets onto YouTube, please forgive me, for my shabby presentation. There's no pictures, but it's just the stark truth, and I've been working on it for a while, and it's finalized down to these two major points, and everything else is just like, it's all facts are there as well. And in my group, devotees who believe Prabhupada was poisoned, there's lots more information. But either it's a yes or a no. That's basically it. If someone has the courage to say yes, he did it, and I have all so much books of proof of reasons why he would have done it. And the other reason is that how he displayed himself as the world leader exactly after it happened, and that's in all his YouTube videos. So that's the truth, and I'm sorry if it's upsetting you, but it's my most important thing. I can't chant my rounds until I solve Prabhupada's murder art, It's the same with cow killing. It's exactly the same issue. We solve this, we can save all the cows on the planet. Someone has the courage to defend, to attack Bhavananda, or who's the head of the TOVP and head of Mayapur, Vrindavan, obviously. So he got Aindra killed, he got Sulochana killed, he got Kadamba Khan shot in the back. He sent Dakos to kill Sridhar Maharaj when he'd been given this TOVP by Prabhupada, the project. So desperately he wants the TOVP, and that's why he desperately clings onto it, and he's been managing. And that's the proof of this whole thing, is that he easily to kill Prabhupada. He killed 2 men in Mayapur, shot them blank with a shotgun. Easy for him to kill Prabhupada. He just slip some cadmium now, it'll be over tomorrow. He won't feel a thing. Easy, and I'll be the world leader. I mean, just look at it. Hare Krishna.